G'day guys, it's Calvin from the Car Tune Company. Just arrived at one of my mates, Glenn from the Labs place. He does the same sort of stuff as me, but he plays Nissans, so he puts V8s into Nissans. So being a Link dealer, I've got a little box for him, a little package. We'll go have a chat with him and drop off his Link ECU for the present project he's working on. There, Glenn.
Oh, we've got our ECU,
Yep.
our Link Xtreme ECU. Awesome. Open this one up.
So here's what we're working on. Glenn's working on at the moment. D22 Navara.
VK45 This one's actually from a SEMA. They're usually found in a Fuga.
Right. And the Ute's going to be four-wheel drive.
It'll remain four-wheel drive and it's manual. And hopefully we'll have our air conditioning operating. If we've got time, we might even do cruise control, which will be a big upgrade for a dirty old D22.
Yep. And why did we decide to go with the Xtreme, Glenn?
It's the best one for the job. Plain and simple. It's the best ECU available in New Zealand. Bang for buck for the job, for what we're doing. Good, great software, great support.
And of course it supports the drive-by-wire throttle body.
Drive-by-wire.
So
cruise control. What else does it support? Yeah, you can probably do your air conditioning through the Link. Yeah, all the motorsport functions are there. If you wanted launch control and flat shifting on your D22 Navara, this little puppy here will do the work for you. G4 Plus Xtreme. Comes in a nice. I'm going to drop that, aren't I? Oh, look, sealed.
the ECU will also be locked, so you'll need to ring me, and I'll give you that unlock code when you're ready.
There we go.
And there we have the Link Xtreme. So in the bottom of the box, we'll have the computer,
tuning cable, mounting bracket, startup instructions, quick guide. In the back here, midway through, gives you suggestions for what these things are for. The pins, you can reconfigure most of them to other things. A couple of Link engine management stickers. Bit of bling, people like bling these days.
So when we were choosing how this is going to be wired, instead of doing the full loom, Glenn's already gone through the wiring loom and checked it over, and it's in pretty good order. So we've supplied a map sensor, 1.15 bar map sensor, and a couple of plug kits.
Plugs and pins.
So it's going to be wired with a plug-in pin setup. So what we will do is he'll go through, he'll identify each of the wires, crimp a terminal on it, push it into the Link ECU on the appropriate place, reusing most of the factory loom. This makes it a bit faster in this particular job, and a perfectly good job considering the main loom is totally up to the job and is in good order. I didn't bring your air temp sensor.
That's right.
But here's your boss that goes on it.
I won't need it for. I said it'll be a week. A week before.
So there's your
go.
on your intake. So when you put your intake sensor in, just weld that appropriately. Try to avoid putting it underneath because it'll get gunge and shit on it. Yeah. Oil on it. Just try to put it on the side if you can, and it just has a Bosch 2-pin Bosch plug. Yeah, so where you put it appropriately. That's the proper pliers for crimping the pins.
Oh, they're that style.
Mm.
I know that they're the right ones, you see.
Well,
so.
they're a generic type plier, but I find them really good. Because there's other ones that don't crimp quite as well. I've got some other ones that are similar, but they're nowhere near as good as those.
Let's have a look at my other ones.
Glenn's also the owner of a pretty mental little Nissan March, which is going through stage 3 revamp, is it, Glenn? Is it stage 3?
I guess you could call it that. It's a metamorphosis.
A metamorphosis. So things are happening in here. And someone put the motor the wrong way round.
I know.
If you've been following the build at all, you'll notice that things keep changing.
That was a bit of an oversight. I came in here one night and did a bit of work, and then I realised the car was parked backwards to what I normally do. So now we've got the engine in the back.
Right.
So. This has got everyone absolutely confused. That people just can't figure out how we're getting the power from gearbox to the people ask me if am I going front wheel drive.
Oh, I put the motor in the back and drove the front wheels.
Yeah, because I mean that makes absolute sense to someone who's got no sense.
That's awesome. I like that idea.
It would be interesting to try it for a laugh. Disengage the rear wheels and try and drive it. If you had your balance about right, if it was 50-50, it would just be the same as a well-balanced front-wheel drive car, wouldn't it? Terrible. Terrible is what it would be. As soon as you go to accelerate, all the weight goes to the back. So now you've got 20% of the weight on the front with whatever it's going to be, 500 kilowatts, and 20% of the weight is 200 kgs. So 200 kgs, 100 kgs on each tyre. So if I stood on that tyre and put 250 kilowatts of torque into it, power and torque, it's just going to turn to a ball of smoke.
Yep, that's right. It's a dumb idea. Funny. This is actually looking pretty good, eh?
Yeah, it won't take. It'll take a while to identify what the hell this. Some of them must be for the auto trans, all these coaxial cables. There's heaps and heaps more than you would think.
Where does the auto drop down the back? Is there a...
Oh, it's...
Or have we already peeled... You haven't peeled them out?
Some of those wires will still be there. They're the ones that go down there, and there's a couple of plugs down there, and then there's a bunch of wires down here.
Oh, so it comes through here?
Yeah, and goes down there and goes underneath and goes along that way. All things might be plugged in down there.
Right.
So there'll be 4 sensors, and then there's the throttle body, and then those 2 brown ones will be the Dett sensors, but then there's like must be a dozen of them.
So if there are a whole lot going down the gearbox, is that only gearbox coming down the front here?
No.
What else is in there?
Air conditioning and oil pressure.
Oh, yep. Okay. So you couldn't just cut them off and then pull those wires out.
Well, I'm actually considering just put the whole lot on the bench.
Yep.
And undo all the insulation and identify each one that way.
Yep. I think that might be a good idea.
Be faster.
I think that might be a good idea.
If I'm doing that, I might put the ECU over there.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Because then I can shift all the wires and put it over there. There'll still be heaps of wire, and it'll be nicer because there's power supply and everything is all here. And it's better.
Oh, I still like the idea of putting it in the cabin.
Haven't 100% decided. Yeah, and the cabin's good.
Catch up. See ya. Take you.
You want feel? Thank you.
See you later. Proof that a man does use a vacuum cleaner. Hello. G'day. It has a diff. Okay. Oh, and some tubes.
I'm trying to stop all the horsepower falling out.
Who cares about oil filters? Don't need those fucking things.
No, that's all good. It's all taken care of.
Don't need oil filters.
So there's enough to Put a sandwich plate on here with a bit of clearance, depending on how I make it. A couple of hoses somewhere.
So we're back at Glenn's, and the engine's wired up, and there's a runner. And I've just come to make a couple of adjustments to the ECU as part of the setup process. I'm technical support today.
Analog temp number 1.
Yeah, so turn that to ECT.
Cool temp.
No, I don't have calibration table. Go to yeah, sensor type.
So click on that.
Yep. Just go standard Bosch NTC.
Bosch NTC.
Bosch NTC. Push OK, and then go to AN volt. I'll go to AN temp 4, AN volt 4.
Volt 4.
ECT, turn that off. And then we need to start it.
It won't start straight away.
That's fine. Hey! It's alive! Whoop, whoop. That sounds pretty quiet too, eh?
That's alright because it's stone cold. I think it'll start at 8. It's hydrogen very fast now.
It's because it's probably got some temp.
Turn it off. Hey!
Okay. Back over half.
Yeah, it's 3,000 exactly right now.
What is it now?
1,400.
1,400. It's doing 1,390 RPM.
It's that fucking close. Needle thickness more than 1250.
Yeah, well, I'm saying 1260.
Yeah, yeah.
It's burning exhaust, so
Yeah, well,
all that shit through the exhaust, all the oil. $860. You could drop it a bit more if you wanted.
Sounds healthy enough. I paid less than $2,000 for that motor.
850. Fans coming on. Fans going the right way. Comes back to idle nice.
Getting a bit of rig. Not too much. Oh, there might not be any rig limits on.
Okay.
Don't go nutty. That's enough. We'll get in trouble.
Trev's nice.
There's there's no hesitation or anything. It's just rum, and it's not rum, pop, 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 or anything, any crap like that. It's just rum. I've got it logging too, actually.
It runs. Enough of the Toyota expert working on the Nissans. I'm going back to my back blocks and go hide at my workshop now.
Fair enough. Thank you, Kelvin.
And you got you away from working on your bloody March. Working on the